Welcome to the Bright Commerce Podcast.
Episode 12. How are you today, Judd?
I'm doing good, Carlos. How you doing?
I'm excited. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to be partially disconnected for about a week and a half. Not fully disconnected because that doesn't exist
No
unless
shit.
unless you go to Antarctica or the North Pole. I'm probably there. You probably could still get Starlink. You know,
Yeah.
you can't even disconnect on flights anymore. They all have Wi-Fi now. It's insane.
What about traveling across the ocean on a fucking sailboat? You can have Starlink and you can literally have your own YouTube channel in the middle of the
Yes,
Pacific,
yes.
just driving around,
It's unbelievable. It's a
making hundreds of thousands of views while we're working our ass off
yeah,
on land here. Yeah.
it's truly fully connected
It's
world.
awesome.
What was it? Um, I used to follow Gary Vaynerchuk a lot in his early days, and
Yeah.
he was hating or dredging the day that Wi-Fi was going to come out in airplanes
Why?
because he was going to force him to like do more work and answer more emails.
He probably does that on airplanes now, if I had to fully guess.
Without a doubt, I'm sure he does. Yeah, yeah. But this is like pre-airplane Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, I want to go back to Blockbuster days. I
You
fucking
want
hate, like, I honestly, there's nothing I can watch anymore. I've seen everything. Like, it's just so easy to watch it. And then I've gotten so bad at just turning stuff off after 15 minutes. And I'm like, this kind of bores me. Where when I went to Blockbuster, I'd be like, I'm committed. I get that video. I go
that's
home. I gotta
there's a
watch it.
reason it's called scarcity, right? Now it's on demand at your fingertips. 500 channels, thousands of recorded
Yeah.
shows and movies, and there's nothing to watch,
Nothing.
right?
Isn't that
There's still
crazy?
no, there's still a few movies. We're getting older too, right? So you tune a lot of stuff out. It's like, I'll watch a movie with my kids. They'll love it. They'll think it's the greatest thing. I'll say, oh my gosh, I've seen that story told so many times in different ways.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, well,
know,
so speaking of times changing, this topic's going to be about AI
AI.
and
Yes.
where
I'm
AI is
excited.
going, and the tools that we use will probably do like we normally do and start talking about other stuff that kind of deals with AI, but not really. But the one thing that I want to know is when AI is going to make when someone's going to make a full movie, 2 hours long, utterly from AI. Not using any movie stars or possibly using a movie star voice as well as face, but they don't have to do nothing. They don't have to show up. They don't have to go to set. They'll literally, you know what I mean? It's gotten to be so scary, like realistic that I don't think it's gonna be far off from that.
Yeah, what is it? Google's AI video generator, VO3.
I've been checking this one thing out. It's creepy. It brought my grandfather back to life, holding
Oh
me when I
yeah,
was a baby.
I've seen that. You could put
It's
a
called the hell is it called? It's like of course it's just like iVideo or something like
yeah,
that.
I think I've gotten hit by those on ads on like TikTok or Instagram where
Hey,
you can bring
oh,
a photo to life.
I
So
started
cool.
taking all my old artwork from art school and putting the pictures in and telling it to bring it to life. And
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
literally making I have like this Egyptian type rendering I did of like pyramids and everything. And then
That's so
literally did
cool.
a bird's eye view flying into it. And I remember I had to do a project with it. I actually had to create a 3D model, like, scene and everything. Took me like 3 months. Literally did the same thing in what, I don't know, 50 seconds. So anyway,
Jeez.
so yeah, the world's changing a bit there. I think the AI is gonna,
Yeah, have you
it's
have you have you messed around with VO3?
yeah, that's what yeah. That's for the interface design, right? App
No, it's
design.
it's uh it's Google's video creator.
Oh, okay. So there's
If you
another.
say
All right. So there's another one I want to talk about too called, I'm sorry, AO.dev. But yeah, tell me about that one.
I mean, I haven't like fully dove into it. It was announced that Google earlier this year. I logged in maybe for like an hour or two, and you got to buy credits because all these AI applications are very resource intensive, right? That's why
Yeah.
that's why the big guys are all buying power plants, right? Because they need power. Um, but
Yeah.
I mean, Judd, you can some of the videos you can make on VO3 are just like mind-boggling how good it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got so I'm still diving into the video aspect of things. The one tool that we use that I really love though is Reap. Reap is awesome to build the shorts. As well as there's one for blogs. So if you have a YouTube and you want to say, I think it's video to blog, I think .ai. We'll put all the links in the comments for people, but that one literally you post your YouTube video, and then what it does is it creates a whole blog post, takes screenshots, and summarize what's being said in the video. And I did it for my local church. So every service, it literally summarizes the service in a blog post and has the video up top, which is the YouTube video. Probably one of the best tools that I've seen from an AI perspective when it comes to content creation. But yeah, so there's tons out there. I think people
Insane.
they got to
Um,
get ahead. It's
yeah,
one
if
way.
you
Go ahead.
Joe, let me show you a quick demo on what Veo can actually do. And they do a really good job at just literally showing you real quick. But you essentially you can upload an
That's
image, you
insane.
can tell it, you can essentially transcribe or give it text on what you want, and it will make it for you, dude. So look at this, like here's the image, right? That's been uploaded. And then I guess the editor, the creator of this video said, hey, um, film a go-kart going through the hole and have a bunch of balls come. Look, I mean, look at this. And
Wow.
like another thing you're starting to see now on social media is you just don't really know what's real anymore. You kind of know, you
Well,
you still kind of pick
I
up on
think
things.
So I think that's where the internet's going to take a turn. I think people are going to start pulling away from the internet back into the real world because of all the bullshit that's and the fake stuff that's out there. I mean, you're gonna have plenty of people that are just stuck that never leave their desk or their phone but I think a lot of people are really looking back to the real world and real connection.
Maybe I don't know. I don't see that happening anytime soon, personally.
I
Where are you gonna
well,
go? Where
I,
are you gonna
I
go
don't
to? Where are you gonna get your news and entertainment from? What are you gonna pick up a newspaper?
I don't know. I'll be
And
honest.
then if you pick up a
So
if you pick up a
how long it's been.
newspaper,
You want to know how long it's been since I've watched the actual news channel? I only see shorts maybe that come somehow get in my feed. I don't want to watch the news anymore. You know what I mean? Like
I
I don't know.
yeah.
I kind of wonder who watched TV anymore. Do you watch TV? Like
Um,
like channels? Like, do you flip through channels? I don't. I think that's almost. I think the only people that do that are maybe older generations that still go through each channel. Like, oh shit, I missed the time slot. You know
so a
what I mean?
couple, yeah. So a couple things about that. So number one is I don't stick to one news network anymore. I use this app called Haystack, and it's on my Apple TV, and it's just basically an aggregate of all the
Of what you
news.
want to learn and see.
I'll put it to you like this: it's from Fox to CNN, so you kind of get it all, and it's all snippets. So that's usually what I do. As far as ratings on TV going down, I mean, I think it was just announced last month where people are now streaming more services versus watching TV. And look what just happened to what's his name? What is it? Andy Colbert, right?
Hmm.
So and it's funny, I had this conversation with my dad the other day because my dad is a huge fan of late night TV. He watches it every night. And I was trying to explain to him how it's generational. I'm like, listen, your parents, my grandparents watched it. You watched it. I kind of watched it for a while. I've kind of gotten away from it, but it's just the focus has shifted, right? So here's a show. The late night show with Andy Colbert costs $200 million a year to make. It loses 40 million a year for the network. So it's not even profitable anymore. And apparently
Wow.
they're starting because just the ratings just aren't there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Networks are going to get hammered with that.
Oh man, they've been under pressure. They've been under pressure for since YouTube launched. 20 years ago.
Yeah. Which YouTube, I have to admit, man, I've been trying to, obviously, we trying to figure out how to get followers. It's not easy. I got to give it to a bunch of people on YouTube that gain followers for business, not talking about like me going and doing something stupid, like some sort of gag or whatever. I'm talking
Yeah,
about like just trying to make interesting content from a business perspective that people want to listen and watch. That's tough. I give it to
it
any
is.
of them.
Yeah, it definitely
It's
takes
so
time.
tough.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely does. But I mean,
But
all, all the big YouTubers will tell you like it just what is it, Mr. Beast, who's the biggest paid or the number one creator on YouTube, right? And the way he does it is genius too. He's got multiple channels, uploads to multiple languages, right? Um, I think he made videos out of like the back of his car for like 2 years. So for two
you're,
years, he would tell his parents, "I'm going to work" at his day job, but he had already quit his day job and he was literally working out of his car to make YouTube videos. Bottom line, it's easier to create content and publish it more than ever, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's at your fingertips. An amazing camera on, I don't have the whole Android Apple debate. Regardless of what's the latest device that you use, they both have amazing cameras. It's
Well,
super
let's
easy
talk
to,
about all around. I think AI. So a
I mean,
couple that
I was
we
just gonna say now on top of that, right? So this is kind of like the first iteration of content creation. Now you have this whole AI wave. So whatever's in your mind, whatever's in your imagination that you want to produce, you don't have to shoot it or CGI it anymore. You can just tell the model that you want to
I
create
know,
it, and
and
there it is.
for me, like that's a tough one too because I think for that's what makes us human is the ability to, or for at least for some people, to be able to create magnificent things that normally,
You
like
are
not
creating.
everyone can do.
It is a tool at the end of the day. It's
Oh, and it's a tool, but I see this all the time in arcs. I follow a lot of I like drawing and stuff, and
yeah,
I see a lot of people I know are just literally using AI to create their perspective, to create
yeah.
their composition, their art, and it's not real. It's not like they're true artists, and there's people that will use this as a tool, and it will do 98% of the work that makes them an artist. And I just feel like it's going to make a lot, like in the artist world, um, it's going to kill that, and that's why I still love the traditional art where someone takes their hand with a brush or charcoal pencil and they draw something that is
There's,
just
I feel
magnificent.
like there's always going to be a place for that. Glass blowing.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I understand. No, I'm
There's
just
always
thinking
going to,
like
the ice internal combustion engine.
the
It's
reason,
still going to be
the
around
reason
for a while.
the reason I'm bringing this up is in the digital world, AI is going to change that, but like in the real world, that's where I think stuff's going to be more prevalent. It's going to be more sacred. I think, an artist that does and is able to do that, a musician that's able to compose and make things up without AI that is just brilliant. You're going to notice the difference. It's going to, what it's going to be like? It's going to be like reality television with real series and real, movies. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Again,
one's cheap
it's
and is shit for the brain. The other is actual artistic
and I'm,
work.
I'm gonna think, why do you let's just bring it out. Do you think that these AI tools are gonna make people dumber?
Oh yeah.
You really think that?
I think it's going to be like Wall-E, that a Pixar, animation where they're going to be fat slobs and not do it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We already have that now, where we have dumb people that the internet made them dumb. Like you have people that blindly follow nonsense and is like literally don't even check the actual real data, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Yeah, it's
the
just
internet
laziness though. I
made
mean, let me ask you
stupid.
this. Do you use your GPS in your car?
I don't actually. So
You
I
don't have
got I
GPS?
so I got my so I so my wife got a new Jeep, and
I
then
know
I got
you.
her
I
old
know you must
Jeep.
get the hand-me-downs. Let me rephrase the
Oh
question.
no, no, no. The GPS, like literally right when I got it, it died. So I have no radio, no GPS. If
Okay.
I am gonna do something, it will be with my phone. But no, like I
Well, if you
typically
go,
know where shit's at. I'll drive to it.
okay, if you're going out of town somewhere, do you use your GPS?
I would then,
Would you
yeah.
say most people use their GPS?
Yeah, but that doesn't make them stupid.
It hasn't made you dumber, and that's what we're talking about, though, right? You're just kind of like taking one thing away that you have to internally compute in your head.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing to be
How
able
many
to
phone
know where
numbers?
shit's
How
at.
many phone numbers do you remember?
Oh God.
How many phone
Yeah,
numbers did you used to remember 20, 30 years ago?
a lot.
Right?
I
So,
wonder how I wonder how many people forget their own phone number.
oh, yeah, yeah. Do you know how long it took me to memorize my new address? Forever. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not important anymore. Or it's like writing a check. When's the last time you wrote a check?
But I definitely feel like that memory though was easier. Like back then, like someone tell me something, I could remember it much easier. But now I have so much shit.
Well, there
So
are there are certain things I remember easier. For example, when I worked in data centers, I used to have a really easy time remembering like IP ranges and IP blocks, right? Because that was my world. I
yeah,
lived in the world of IP addresses, right?
yeah, yeah,
Now it's like I'm lucky if I can hang on to one for like more than 5 seconds
yeah. I
because
couldn't do that.
I focus on other things, you know.
Yeah, so
But,
those are like helpful things. Yeah, I think.
yeah,
Well,
I
you know
don't
what?
think
I'll tell you one thing that's funny is like with AI writing, like writing styles. Like you can immediately catch in social media in a blog post if AI wrote it. Whether so curious, AI loves saying the word curious for whatever reason. Curious, I'd like to da, da, da. So whenever you see an AI comment, usually have the word curious in it. Where M dashes, I fucking hate M dashes. ChatGPT is the king of adding M dashes everywhere. You could tell it to stop adding the M dash throughout the whole chat and it will still slip one in. Like it's like I have to add this. It's important to me. Like no, it's not. You need to stop adding the M dash. Where so and then that's the best part. Like if you're getting emails from people or whatever and they have the M dash in it, or you're commenting on social media has an M dash in it, particularly LinkedIn, you know right away that that's an AI comment. Like that
I've
person's not even
never
like
gone into that. I
that's just
gotta tell you, I've never gone into that. I will say this, man. I've always struggled writing. Always. It's always been like one of my pain points. And
Grammarly
I'm sorry.
AI. Grammarly's helped me write tremendously.
Oh,
I've used Grammarly for 10 years and
Grammarly
I
was great, but I stopped using them since the LLMs came out. But it okay, so Grammarly actually taught me to write better, and so did all the LLMs like ChatGPT, Grok, and Gemini.
so so
They're
I
actually like helping me articulate better.
well Grammarly is still now they have AI in it too. So but Grammarly I still think to this day is the best
Is it? Yeah, I
way to
just
write.
yeah.
So
So
if you build something in ChatGPT, you build content in ChatGPT or Claude, for example, I will then put it into a Google Doc when I think it's pretty much ready and I finessed it. Then I'll run it through Grammarly so I don't sound like a dumbass AI, right?
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like literally, it will go and correct all the dumb AI stuff.
Yeah,
AI has a way of, so that's now we're talking about something too where Google and search and ranking, you know, Google doesn't like AI writing. Like you need to make sure you edit your copy.
you know why that is, right?
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. And
Okay.
also, by the way, I do want to say that Google just announced that they will not be giving money or monetization to AI generated videos.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, they just announced it a couple weeks ago, I think. But here's
That's
why.
great.
Here's why Google doesn't want AI generated content. Google's biggest challenge, which they're the best at, nobody else can do it like they can, is crawling the web. It takes
Yeah.
a huge amount of resource to crawl the web, dude. Right? So now what
Yeah.
happens when you got thousands, 10,000s, hundreds of thousands of content creators just auto-generating content and pumping things out on a daily basis? They can't keep up with
They're
that,
going
dude.
to block it, but they're not going to rank it either.
Right? And that's the reason why they're telling people
Yeah.
like, hey, don't
I
bother.
see.
And by the way, just to be on the safe side, it's purely for sites that are just like, I don't know what the percentage is, but like a high percentage of this site has to be AI generated for Google to not rank you or index you, right? Like
Yeah.
you can still have, certain parts of blogs. I mean, even blog posts when we write
Let, let,
content for.
let's break that down a bit. So, because I'm interested, you just brought up something I need to kind of look up. Well, so let's say we use AI. Say I want to do the top 10 caching plugins for WordPress, right? And I wanted to use AI to write the article.
Okay, so
Are you
let's just
saying,
stop. Let's just stop right there. Let's just stop right there. So let's say you didn't have AI for 1 second. What would you have to do? You would have to go on the web, put in your
in search Google?
on Google, right? And what takes you 30 minutes or maybe even longer, Judd, is now 30 seconds, right? So now you have your criteria, right?
Yeah.
But instead of doing a copy and paste, you really should take the time to
Oh, yeah.
manually
So,
modify it and make the changes as if it was your own persona writing it, right? There's a lot of times where AI will write for
yeah,
me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm
but
like,
I think there's a trick to that too.
oh, okay,
There's a so the trick to that. So what I typically do is I'll take a look at the top performing, let's say, four articles, and I'll tell AI this is my reference point. Then I'll tell AI how I want to structure the paragraph. So typically I would say I want an intro paragraph targeting this keyword phrase. Then I want topics, and I want you to tell me
there
what
you go,
would you think the
right,
topic should
right.
be based on these reference articles. So then it gives me the topics,
And
right?
that's where it shines. It does all
Yeah.
the heavy lifting for you.
So I would say like you still have to be a creative person to understand like how to craft the article, and what's going to make it make sense. And then you
Right.
got to read it, and then you
The
got to edit it.
context, the goal, the message you're trying to get across.
Here's the perfect thing not to do. If you're using AI to build an article and you literally copy paste the first shit that it gives you, you're not doing it right. You have
Funny,
like I will
I had
I've been
so
working
many
on
I had so many customers reach out to me like saying like hey Carlos, we're thinking of doing all the content now in house with LLMs. What do you think? Look what Google just announced.
oh yeah. Oh, I had a client of mine, friend of mine too, is in the metals industry. They used all AI for imagery. The imagery was horrible. All AI for copy. Like you gave a perfect example, and I try to tell them like, don't do that. That's not going to be good for SEO. They're not a client of mine anymore. But the bottom line is, like, all of that, what they're doing is going to destroy their SEO, what they've already accomplished. And you can't really, you can only try to teach people certain things, but that's like also why this right here, just awareness and telling people like, don't just copy and paste shit that is auto generated.
Yeah,
You have to
no
give
doubt.
it some
You still have to
thought.
craft it. Yeah, you still have to add it a touch.
Yeah, and and
And it's
imagery
funny.
is a good.
It's just not for us either. I'll give you another use case here. I have a friend of mine who's a financial advisor at JP Morgan, right? And he likes to dabble in technology, but he's not a technologist, right? He's a finance guy. And
Yeah,
we were talking about LLMs and ChatGPT, and he happened to mention how JP Morgan has their own LLM. He goes, we just call it LLM. And I'm like, well, what's it based on? He's like, oh, listen, I'm not a tech guy. You know that. I don't know. So I went to go look it up, and it's actually OpenAI's version for specifically for JP Morgan, right? I guess it's fine-tuned or focused on the finance market. But
yeah,
he even tells me, he says a lot of times I have to change up the way it says things because it's just not me. It's not how I would say something. It's not my persona.
yeah,
Or it over explains.
yeah, yeah. I think. Oh, so you brought yeah. So having the brand's voice. A lot of people don't understand that either. So this goes back to just knowing your brand, having brand standards, having a brand voice, and having a tone and a feel that you want your brand to communicate by. People don't even know what that means now. I think like you're a small business, you get AI, you just start regurgitating the crap that ChatGPT says. You have no voice, no real voice.
Yeah, I
You have
see.
no
Yeah. Well,
like there's so much to a brand that you have to
yes.
do from a
Let's
personalized perspective.
let's talk about that because for us, right? For web developers, web designers, the LLMs have changed the game in terms of headlines and subheadlines.
Yeah.
right? Once, you still have to go through your, discovery process where you define your personas, the messaging you want to put out. But these
Yeah.
tools they just compress the time so much and take the thinking away. Hey, here's what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm building. Here's what I'm trying to say. Give me 5 examples.
Yeah. So, so I hired an SDR team, right? For sales, and they gave me the sales pitch deck, and they gave
Yeah,
me the emails they're going to send out, and all that, all done with AI. And I'm like, and I go, all right, we need to get rid of the M dashes, number one. I rewrote them all. I used AI though, but I rewrote them and then I
yeah,
edited what the AI said. I also, because I'm going after certain verticals,
yeah.
I wanted to make sure I'm talking to that vertical.
Yes,
But
yeah, yeah,
the person, the SDR person, that great people by the way, not bad. I'm not, I'm not
yeah.
down on them. They don't know my verticals and how I've sold to these
Right.
people, which I've been
Yeah,
doing for years. So I went and finessed. I'm like, okay, this customer is going to have this issue. This wholesale customer is going to need this. This, retail customer is probably going to want to be this, or I don't want to be in the fashion industry because they're just hard to work with. Like you have to finesse it, right? You got to tell them where you want to go and how you want to speak to
right, right,
them,
yeah.
and
They want to do so. Yeah,
that's
it's like
that,
any agency. You got to get involved. You can
yeah,
again. It goes. You can only outsource so much to them. Just so you can only outsource so much to the LLM, right? But
yes.
in terms of copywriting, Judd, ideation, research, it has completely changed the game, man.
I think copywriting is going to be a big one. I don't even think it's blown up in our faces yet, but there's going to be some major lawsuits down the road, I'm sure, for AI generated
Oh yeah, and I
content.
mean, yeah, that's like I'm sure. What is it? Disney. I think Disney's trying to sue one of these AI video companies. I think it might be Google.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. Reason why is because they're using stormtroopers in a lot of these videos.
Oh, isn't that
And that
great?
AI is owned by Disney. The stormtrooper is owned, or maybe it was something with Darth Vader, something
It was
along those lines.
stormtroopers. They're all walking around. Hey, man, we just got off the ship, and we just got shot down, and this guy's an idiot, man. He just don't know. Yeah, like
That's
it's
right.
stormtrooper
They're
guy
up on the
talking, right?
beach, right? It might.
That's best.
It might be
But you
that,
can't
or
like
maybe, yeah.
they
Anyway,
can't
yeah. So
stop.
that's just,
They can't stop it.
yeah,
Honestly, like that's just someone having fun. I don't know. I mean, I would assume only they can only stop it if he's making money. But I don't know. Like like if you're making fun of a store trooper and just making him be a complete idiot, right? That is fair use. They can't have copyright on that. You can make anything funny and have it be under fair use and be allowed to be used. So
yeah,
so
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's
I don't
where
know.
they're gonna
It'll,
lose that
yeah,
one.
it'll, it'll just be a matter of time, you know.
Yeah.
I was listening to uh, uh, the Lex Friedman podcast. It's DHH. It's the guy that invented Ruby on Rails.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how we massacred the web with privacy cookie pop-ups and
Oh, I
all
know. It's
sorts of
awful.
disclaimers.
I literally
It
have
takes
so
it takes you three
so
clicks just to get to your content, and it's we got to thank the lawyers for that and people suing each other.
well, it's the privacy laws, but yeah, basically, like you have to with GDPR and CA. What's the one for California? California being there's like two or three states now that you have to have the
Oh,
cookie policy.
is it more in California now? Oh
It's
wait.
there, yeah.
I'm sorry, what are
There,
we talking about? GDPR? What are we talking about?
so the GDPR
Yeah,
is one that's for the European Union, I believe, GDPR compliance.
that's
But the
correct.
one,
GDPR, yeah. But let's hold on. Are we talking about like cookies? Because
yeah, the
GDPR.
cookie compliance. So the one it's
Okay,
CCPA. Sorry,
okay. Let's
CCPA.
talk about GDPR real quick and actually what it is, right? And it's something a lot of companies have adopted. Automatic being one of them with WordPress, and that is if a customer that you have in the European Union comes to you as a site owner, any kind of application or website owner, and says, "Please give me all the information you have about me." You need to be able to produce that. Then, if they come back with a request that says, "Please delete it all," you need to be able to execute that request. That's GDPR in a nutshell.
Which is messed up because people just think it's a cookie consent. They say no, then you're like, okay, fine, I still have the
No,
previous data.
cookie policy is a completely different law altogether.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, California is the same. It has the it's for profit business California to collect California residents' personal information and meet specific thresholds, consent, key principles, consumer rights, enforcement, all that kind of crap. So here's where we talked about ADA compliance a little bit.
Yeah.
This is going to be something, and down the road, you're going to start seeing a lot of ambulance chasers doing the same thing. Lawsuits are going to start popping up.
Yes. Yeah. That,
So
hey,
you
hey,
have to
you have no
you
GDPR policy because you need a GDPR policy essentially.
yeah. So
Just
you
just
you
like
know
just like you need a terms of service and a privacy policy.
well if you I'm not really if you're in America, I don't really know how much that's going to be because it's Europe. If you sell in Europe, that's when you will have an issue. Like
No,
I sell
Joe,
plugins
you
in
gotta
Europe.
you gotta you gotta have terms of service and privacy policy in the US.
Well, you do, but I'm saying the if getting actual like lawsuits, I think we need to focus more on America, where GDPR, if you're not doing business in Europe, you don't have to worry about that
Correct.
particular.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, like so yeah, we have the pop-up windows.
Yeah.
Then we have userway.org for the
Yeah.
ADA
Yes.
compliance. It's
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
And then
Yeah.
if you go to an e-com site, what are you getting? Hey, sign up for a newsletter and get 10% off.
Yeah.
You get the
Right.
newsletter pop out. It's been ruined. And that's another reason why the LLMs are so much better too.
Wasn't it like we talked about this the other day? Like, I still love the Flash era, and I still love like people don't understand. Like the people that started working 10 years ago, for example, just
I know.
don't even
And
get
listen, the Flash.
what the internet was. We had the best time. It was like it was open. There was no big
I,
elephant in the room like
you
Google.
know,
Like, Google was big, but it wasn't like
I know,
like
but
they
listen,
didn't
listen.
control
Here,
things like
here was the
Apple
problem.
and
Here was, and
Facebook.
we didn't touch on this last time. Here was the problem with Flash. Okay, and that's why Flash didn't work on a touch environment because Flash has no rules. Anything goes on a Flash movie. Anything. There's
I
no
know.
there's no
It's crazy.
standards and there's no rules, right? And I don't know if you remember or not, but Apple, when Apple launched iOS, they automatically said, "Hey, we're not supporting Flash or Shockwave. You can forget about it." Right? Obviously, the web had to adapt, but then I don't know if you remember, but a few Android competitors were actually announcing Flash support, and,
That would, yeah, I don't
and it
remember.
but it died too, is what I'm saying. Why? Because the user experience just wasn't there. It was really hard to interact with Flash sites on a touch device, is what
Yeah.
it came down to.
You know, I will say that the one that I love to this day was Two Advanced Studios. Like, if you want to bring it up, they're still around and it's still animated the same way. I don't know how they did it, but it's not Flash. But look at Two Advanced Studios. And it's with the number two. This is one of they made the best Flash sites back in the day. I can
Really,
share
yeah.
my screen. Here, let me bring it up here.
Is it tooadvanced.com?
Here, I got it. Let me share right here. Oh, wait, hold on. Two Advanced Studios.
Oh, okay.
Should be that right there. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
hold on.
that's tooadvanced.com. Yeah,
Right here, this one. Yeah, what's going on?
that's it, man. They're done. They
Wait, wait,
couldn't. They got an
hold on. I'm
SSL
gonna proceed.
problem, SSL certificate issue.
Are you kidding me? Oh, here, hold on. No,
Oh, look
here.
at this. Here we go. Obviously, like, look, they have no SSL cert though. This is old.
Oh, that sucks. It was working the other day. It was good. Well, fucking have to skip that. But anyway, let's go to the next topic. One thing I want to bring up is legal, as far as doing legal documentation. So I've used ChatGPT as well as Claude to review contracts, which I love, by the way. Like it. So you're not a lawyer, right? But
I
it
know.
does
I know what you
help.
mean. Yeah,
On,
that is really nice. From a review standpoint. Yeah.
yeah, and this one's for actual law firms. But if you're, so I'll tell you, like I've had um, Florida Department of Revenue. I got audited for you know whatever they're the employee taxes, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, all's good. Kept great records. But what I did is I made sure by looking from a legal compliance standpoint, I uploaded my books, uploaded every time they asked me a question. I sent the question in, uploaded all the information I have, said, is there anything here I have to be worried about? No. Checks off all the stuff. You're fine. You're fine. This is compliant. This is compliant. This is compliant. Send it back. It was the easiest process I had to do with, ChatGPT. Um, any kind of people that I've hired in the past, real estate contracts, the SDR firm I hired. I uploaded the contract. It said to me what I need to look out for, what works for me, what doesn't, what I should be concerned about. It's fucking amazing. Now, I'm not going to say it replaces lawyers by no means, but when it
Right.
comes to
But no,
the
it does give you that competitive edge of not having to go spend $4.50 an hour to have an attorney look at it for you.
well, they don't even look at the small stuff. They have their paralegal look at it. That was the
Well,
best.
that's their business model, but you get my point.
Well, yeah, but the best part was I sent my stuff to a lawyer, and he's like, "Judd, this is so organized. Honestly, I can't. I'm not going to bill you because everything's together. Like, you do better than my paralegals."
That's
And he
great
didn't
though.
even realize I used AI, and that
Right,
was the
I got you. Yeah, yeah. But no, that's great though that you rent it by an attorney. That's like, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the
the
key
right
thing.
thing to
Like some
do,
people
right?
like so I will say this a million times over. AI sometimes is stupid and it will tell you what you want to hear for some dumb reason and not be the right thing. So unless you're
Well,
educated,
yeah,
do
because
not
I
trust
understand
AI
too.
100%.
I'm like we're at the very beginning of it all. It's only going to get better, right? That's
Yeah, I mean we're at the beginning of it, but like literally I've had AI would regurgitate something to me and I'll look at it and be like, that's not accurate.
yeah,
And I'll say, how
no,
is
yeah,
that accurate?
definitely, yeah,
And it will tell me, "Oh, you're so sorry. My bad. I wasn't
yeah,
thinking."
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
scary, dude.
Yeah,
I need
of
this to be
course, yeah.
accurate.
Listen, hey, how many times has your GPS taken you to the wrong place?
I've never had that happen.
I use GPS for everything, especially
Yeah,
since I use full self driving. You got to have GPS on, right? Because the car needs to know where you're going. I
that's
think
right. You have a
everybody,
Tesla. Yeah, Liam has my son has his Tesla now, and I have to admit it's pretty cool.
it's a really cool car. There was just an update yesterday. It's called the summer update.
Yeah.
So now there's Brock.
So
Brock is now inside your Tesla.
that's crazy.
And it's only conversational right now, right? So
So here I have a question for you about the Tesla. And okay, so let's say you have a Tesla, right? Or let's say that you have you're a senior citizen and your eyes are kind of going, right?
yeah,
Like you don't want to get rid of that driver's license yet, but everyone around you's like, you shouldn't drive. Now,
you should you
just
should have been a
ask you
lawyer,
then,
dude. I don't know what you're doing being a
but
businessman.
Tesla, I think with autopilot could get you to go a little further. Could give you a couple more years with
Yeah,
being half blind in one eye.
probably, yeah. But
See, I see
but
that's kind of
hold on, there's
cool.
a big but. There's a big but.
What?
You're still held accountable and responsible for the car. It's still Tesla is level two driving.
Yeah,
There's like 5 levels of automation, I think. Tesla is level two. Level five is like true autonomy. Or maybe it's level four. I don't know. But we're still at level two. There still has to have there still has to be manual input, right? So
well,
so
let's
to
say
your
let's say
point,
you see enough.
yeah, it may buy you a few more years, and hey, it's probably saved a few lives, a few children's lives.
Yeah. All
But
right, cool.
at the end of the day, if that person gets into a car accident, they're not going to look at the car.
I bet you by the time we're seniors, well, actually, what are you talking about? I'm almost 50, so I'm right around the fucking corner. Um,
Yeah,
15 years, 65,
yeah.
right? The 15 years, you think that there'll be level five Teslas?
I think well, there's okay, so there is some level five today, right? And Waymo is doing it, and the Tesla, uh, what is it? The Cybertax that would be like level five, right? But
Yeah.
there's no driver. There's no driver in the
No.
vehicle, but it's only certain zones.
Didn't they blow a lot of those up in somewhere, some city? I saw like they were setting on fire all these
I'm
autonomous
sure. I'm
cars.
sure. But it's a bunch of savages out there. I'm sure, man.
Yeah, they're just like,
Bunch of people with axe picks. What is it?
oh, so this is bad, but like I don't know, like my wife's Instagram account is just normal. It's like cool normal stuff. Mine It has guns. It has women doing whatever. Like, and I didn't ask for that either. But one thing I started popping up was protesters against cars. And it says, you like watching this.
Yeah.
It says that on the
Yeah, no,
account.
you constantly have to train it because look, if I send you a video about that and you
No,
interact, if I send you a video about watches and you interact with that video, it's going to start.
no,
It's gonna
I'm
be
not
bad.
talking about that. I'm talking that they literally, if you're a male,
Yeah.
they'll give you stuff right out the gate
Well,
as a male.
but dude, that goes. That's
If you're a
nothing new. That's
female,
nothing new. That's nothing new. They're not going to give
yeah,
you
but like,
Barbies. They're
yeah,
not.
but I'm like, I look at my wife's stuff. I'm like, I want to see some of that. I don't see that. Like, I don't. It just would be better for me to.
Yeah,
It would be healthier
I
for
know what
me
you're
to
saying.
see
Yeah,
it. But they don't.
I
They don't
find
want to give
myself.
that to me.
I constantly train it. What I don't like, I constantly tell it I don't like.
Well, so I saw on Instagram that you can have teen accounts now. Took them forever, right? Like, why
Yeah,
didn't you do that years ago?
yeah.
You
Grow up.
suck,
I'm
Facebook.
sorry. TikTok's had it for a
Godless
while
people,
too.
right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. What?
They have teen accounts.
Yeah, yeah.
It finally got teen accounts. Why did that take like I don't know how many years it took to get teen accounts?
I mean, YouTube Kids. Why did it take? My oldest son didn't grow up with YouTube Kids. My youngest son did. It just wasn't there. The need wasn't there. You know what it comes down to,
What
Judd?
I'm saying is they could have made it happen. They should have made it happen. There's literally softcore porn that kids could see on Instagram right now, which is bad. They don't do anything about it. They don't allow me to filter like TikTok has a filter, sensitive stuff. Like you can literally have a filter where
Yeah,
TikTok will not, I won't see one bad thing like that. Where
I'm sure
Instagram,
it's in the roadmap. I'm sure.
I just feel like they're godless.
Listen, dude.
It's a
You build
godless
software.
company.
You build software. I build software. Right? You know it's impossible to get everything out on the first release. It's impossible. You'll never launch. You'll never
Yeah,
launch. And
I
then Judd,
disagree. I think
then
they
it comes
make
down
the
to money. Then it comes down to
I,
priorities.
I think they make the algorithms that way because they know people are going to watch them. They don't give a shit about what's healthy mentally for you or for me. They don't.
But you get to pick that.
Huh?
You get to pick that.
Well, you could not really, because honestly, in Instagram, I don't want to see this shit, and
I'm
it keeps
telling you don't want
popping
to see it.
up.
Just say I'm not
Oh
interested.
no, I just delete the app. Like I won't use the app. That's what I'll do. I'm just saying, like TikTok had a way that I can say I don't. I want to see just wholesome stuff. I don't want to see the shit that I see on Instagram. Like, and it's. I'm just saying, it's a godless company. That's all. It's
I,
godless.
I mean, listen, no, I, we're not we're not going to talk about religion or politics on the podcast.
All right, why
Uh,
not?
those are business usually doesn't mix well
I
with
think
that.
business need to have a set of
Elon
standards
Musk
that
Elon Musk is a great uh, example of that, right? Business and politics, business and religions usually don't mix well. I,
No, but I think that you still need to be held to a standard. And I'm sorry, the good morals that you do find in religion, if you leave them out, you're stuck with Instagram.
yeah.
That's
Plus,
what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I guess, John. I don't know. I mean, that's
See, TikTok was built by Chinese, right? If you look at the TikTok that's in China versus what's in America, completely different. The TikTok that they allow their children to see is productive. The videos they see are
yeah.
productive. It's productive for
You're right.
society, right?
Right.
They control that.
So you want to
That's
go
that.
live? So you want to go live in a communist country? Is what you're saying?
No, I want to
No,
go.
but you
No,
want to pick. But you want to pick and choose what's good for
no. I want to go back to the foundations of what this country was built on, which is, come on,
freedom of speech.
Christianity.
What freedom of speech?
No, it was built on. No, the foundations are built off of Christianity. This country was built on.
Now you're killing me. Now you're getting into politics, and I'm not good at. I'm sorry, getting into
I won't go
religion.
there, but
I'm not good at religion. You know that's not my strong thing.
all right. Well, you can come to church with me on Sunday if you want.
Get back to you on that.
All right. I'll edit this out.
No, it's all right. It's part of the podcast.
Yeah. Hurt me today. Sorry.
It's fine. I listen. I think
The reason the segue that I was getting from this is where do you think AI and like religion fall into place? The reason I brought that up is because I think That's where sometimes the
I
danger of
wouldn't I
AI.
wouldn't do it like that, Judd. I wouldn't. You're asking the context in a very like clickbait type of way, right? I think the right question is, where does religion and technology converge?
Okay. All right, let's talk about
I
that.
mean,
I'm joking. I'm joking. You don't want
no,
to
but
talk
I'm
about.
saying like what is it? I know a friend of mine years ago started a company called Parish Pay. Um, they would take online donations for churches and keep a small percentage for themselves.
Hmm.
And it did great, and they raised millions and millions of dollars. My barber is huge into religion, dude.
You
He
say
was,
push pay?
I'm sorry, what?
You say push pay?
Oh no, Parish Pay.
Parish pay. Okay, because push pay is
ParishPay.com.
the one that now does it. Like push pay is the major one for all
Oh, is it?
churches.
Well,
Yeah.
he was early to the game.
Yeah.
This is actually a good friend of mine. He moved on from that business and got into billing software for schools and did really, really well with that. Like he basically developed a SaaS app. Um,
What is it called? Like, is it like FinSite?
no,
FinSite.
it got bought out like 10 years ago for like $300 million. I forgot what it was called. Um, but
That's
there was a good chance if you were paying your school tuition, you're using their software. And then it got bought up by a bigger company. Uh,
gotcha.
I forgot I was going with all this. Um,
We're talking about religion and AI.
Religion and AI. Well, I was just saying, oh yeah, my barber is like huge into church. Him and his whole family. And we always talk about it. He's responsible for doing all the video recording and then publishing it to YouTube to work on the art.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you have to look at it, Judd. Not you
Well,
know.
that's where I wanted to bring up because with Google, Facebook, a lot of these major social media brands, search engine brands, they block like Christianity, religion from advancing on their platform.
Oh, I didn't
Where
know that.
TikTok being communist, which is weird, embraces it. Like I can post and advertise my whole
No, wait.
sermon.
Is that TikTok in the U.S. or TikTok in China?
Yeah,
Are
TikTok in
you
the
are
U.S.
you allowed to pick a religion in China?
I don't think so. I think if you're Christian, you can actually be, yeah, it's bad. Like I think that's why
Yeah,
the
you just
Tibet.
can't compare the two, man. There's no comparison.
Well, I'm not comparing. Like you brought up communism
Us,
about.
we can't compare the two, is what I'm saying. There's just no
Well,
comparison.
I guess like the one thing I don't believe in obviously communism. That's freaking awful. I love the USA. I love freedom, but I think when you take freedom of speech and certain freedoms and you pervert it so bad, and it's perverted in this country. We have a lot of perversion in this country. I think porn is a huge problem. You know what I mean? So, and speaking of AI, from what I understand, there's like that's reaching into porn. Like you can undress some girl, like that's messed up. Like to me that's
Everything.
perversion
I
of
mean,
the technology.
but just every piece of technology. Who was it? I had this old teacher tell me years and years ago how um, a lot of the technology we have today comes from war, comes from weapons, from destruction. What do you think we get satellites from? And
No,
GPS.
I mean I think war progressed it quickly, but it doesn't mean it came from war. So I think technology, like so you could say that, but
Yeah,
like if you
yeah.
look back
How are
all.
how are the rockets that are used today to launch satellites in space? How were those rockets invented? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
The
know.
von Bohr rockets that were
Okay.
designed
Well,
by
what
by
about
a Nazi
aqueducts?
by
But what about the technology of like aqueducts back, that from the Romans? What about plumbing? That was the same in Roman times, almost identical to what we have in certain cities now. Like, like the plumbing, like you have technology, but like what I'm talking about is technology that interacts with humans, right? Like war would be a technology that interact with humans,
yeah.
guns, right?
I'm just,
But
all I'm trying to say is that no matter which technology you pick, it's going to find itself everywhere. Look at crypto. Look at all the negativity around crypto because it is used for black market transactions.
Absolutely.
But it also
That's
decentralizes banking. It's
that's a whole
listen,
other topic too.
it is and it isn't, right? Because it's the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
You want freedom of speech, then you're gonna have to put up with all these other things that come with it. It comes with the territory.
Well, I think, but I also think you got to have a moral compass. I think us as a nation, when you bring out you pull out religion, you lose some of that moral compass. Look at where we're at right now. I mean, come on.
No, no
I
doubt.
mean, come on. We're not going to get into it, but I'm
Yeah,
just
I
saying
mean, no doubt you gotta have a moral compass. But look, if
yeah.
most of us didn't, like, we all live pretty comfortable today, right? In planet Earth,
Oh, I
for the
live
most
great.
part.
Like I'm not. I'm like I'm fine. But and I would
Yeah,
choose.
like,
I choose to live where I live, right? But I don't think like there's certain parts in this country I would not want to be. I wouldn't fit in. I just wouldn't. It just I don't want to be there. And I think that's that's just, I don't know why people would put up with some things like, and that's exactly why we had mass migrations from certain states to other states. They're like, this is getting to be crazy.
by the way, you know what technology dramatically changed the electoral college vote?
What?
The invent of the AC. It allowed more people from the north to move down south, and that changed the electoral college.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's one thing. Like, if you move, like, if you're the kind of person that don't like where you're at, but you decide I'm going to move to somewhere that's better, but want to bring that shitty vote that caused where you were at to be bad, then you're the biggest asshat of them all, right? Like that's my opinion on that. Like if you're gonna go somewhere, go and be like the people there. That's the same if you're being an immigrant. Like if you're going to another country, you go to be because you're like, I like this country, I like this people, I want to be here. I'm gonna assimilate into that country. If you're going there just to reap the rewards of that country and shit on it, just to go back and
Yeah,
praise your own,
that's
like that
wrong.
you left
That's
because it was
yeah,
so
yeah,
bad, that's messed up. That's
right.
I guess we're talking about politics again, but
We are talking about
anyway,
politics, but also having a moral
you
compass. No,
started it.
I agree. I mean, I do agree with you. Yeah, you don't. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't, yeah, we got way off AI topic. I don't know why.
Well,
But
we're kind of talking about we're talking about Grok on Tesla, and here's where I was going to go with that. And this is kind of where all the devices are heading, not just Tesla, but um, Tesla just launched Grok for the Tesla cars. It's only in the newer models too. Like you got to have an AMD chip to get it because it requires a lot of CPU power, right, or a certain amount of CPU
yeah.
power. Point being though is right now it's purely conversational. You can only interact with the car by asking questions. It's really nice, right? Because how many times are you at a stoplight and you want to quickly Google something, or you open up the browser on the Tesla because it's got a built-in browser, but you can't
And
really
I'll
just
just tell
fully
you
drive
right then
in.
and there.
It's just nice. You have a quick question, you can ask it. Now,
That's pretty
where that's going, and this is also where this is going, right? Um, Eventually, the LLM model will replace the voice assistant in the car. So now
wow.
you can interact with the car in just more contextual ways, right? It'll understand what you're saying. And by the way, that's also where all the assistants are going. The one over here on my left, that Amazon makes that I'm not going to mention because it's going to trigger her. She's getting an upgrade too, where she's going to be more conversational thanks to the LLMs.
What's gonna trigger her? Oh, I got you. I
That's the
like
one.
you're talking
Unless,
like it's a person.
unless you want me to do it, right, Alexa?
I thought you were talking. Yeah, I got you. But isn't that funny? I don't like that either. Like, because they listen to everything in your house, like everything.
Well, I don't think that's the case, man.
But they got caught doing it. They
That's
got caught
I think what
snoring.
you're talking about is different.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway.
I'll give you my spiel on that. But real quick, we're gonna see this with Siri too next year, and that's why it's taken Apple so long to have a true AI capability in the phone, right? Like right now, it's like semi baked in. Like you can interact
Yeah.
with ChatGPT through your phone and have some AI capabilities.
Yeah.
But now that what Apple's gonna do, and they haven't announced it yet, but they're either gonna do something with Claude or AI, where they're gonna fully bake that model into their OS. So you're gonna be able to interact with Siri in a whole new different way, right?
Well, that kind of makes you wonder how many of these startups are going to, like, because right now we're like kind of like the 90s dot-com era,
Yeah,
or
you're so right. Well, that was like the first big bubble. Then it was mobile with all the apps, and
we're hitting one now.
this is gonna be the third one. All the AI stuff coming out, right?
Yeah, you know what too? Like, have you heard? I'm not a big fan of Google at all. I don't like. I'm not saying that they don't have great products, and I'm
What do you
not
like?
saying they
What do you
don't have a
like?
great.
What
It
do you
it,
like?
it didn't change the world. I
What do you
just
like?
don't like them as a business, especially for small business. They've done a lot of things that I just don't like. But here's the crazy part is like if there was ever because I always say like Google's never going to get toppled. Remember like you thought about 2010,
Yeah,
12,
right.
Google's never going anywhere, right?
Now they're
What
flying.
about now?
Yeah,
What about now? Like now there's a run for their money. Like they have to understand that search, like when you think of search engines, right? It really is Google and Bing, maybe Yahoo, which is actually Bing anyway, right? It's the same people, Microsoft.
yeah.
Like when you think about it, I truly believe that search may just one day go away. Just go away.
I'm sure at some point
It will go to like chat, like it'll go to the AI, right? But I don't.
all good things come to an end. I'm sure at
Yeah,
some point it will too. There is a really good podcast from Lex Friedman where he's talking to Sundar Pichai, Google CEO, and he just kind of laid out the whole roadmap and vision from Google.
is it good?
It's really, really good. I mean,
I have to look it up. Check
it's
that
coming from
out.
the horse's mouth. It's just amazing. Like, dude, they have a
They
plan. They
got smart people. I mean, they got tons of
smartest
smart people.
people.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that, but like, but you know how like even the best companies that we grew up with, they thought they were unstoppable. They thought they had
It is.
like a wall around them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it came crumbling down.
Like
Fast.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, like Blockbuster.
Like, wait, did you know Netflix reached out to Blockbuster about getting bought out?
Oh, and then what happened with that?
Blockbuster said, no, that's not the model we want to pursue.
That was stupid. See, but that's what I'm talking about. Like just right there. That's what happened. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and that's why I think they really went back to like when Google Ads, you look at what they're trying to do. They don't want you just to be at search anymore. I think they know like this is not where it's at. Like we need
Yeah.
to go through our whole inventory,
Uh,
Gmail ads,
yeah.
video, like which also that's one cool thing is I think the internet's going to change from being this more flat textual thing to being more video based sooner or later. I think we're going to see more. We already have seen see more video, right, from social media, the shorts, but that's now going everywhere. And then Google, I don't know, like I remember Google had was it Google Plus? Remember Google Plus? It was
Of
kind of
course.
their start of their social thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Notice like Google My Business now allows you to post updates. So they got rid of the personal aspect, but I think the Google
Yeah.
My Business
Well,
is
not only
bringing
that,
back
it
the business.
also allows visitors or guests to publish information about your business, which
There,
a lot of business owners hate.
yeah,
But
gosh.
you can't dispute those, by the way. There is a way to dispute them.
Well, that's one thing about reviews that where people suck. I think people need to have some empathy in some cases, unless the business is just bad or rude or whatever. But if you're gonna leave only 1 star reviews, that tells a lot about who you are. You got to leave a few 5 star, right? Like
Oh, you run into it's funny how it works, right? Don't you always do
I've
that?
noticed when I've left 4 in a row, I'm like, I better throw a good one out there because karma's gonna bite me in the ass sooner or later. You know what I
I
mean?
I've done that too. When somebody writes a complaint on a GMB listing, I want to see how legit it is. So I'll go look at the person's profile.
Oh, I do that all the time, and because
Yeah,
WordPress.org is filled with people like that. They literally get free software, support it, and because one little bug is there, they'll give you a 1 star, and it's like, don't you realize this is free? And you see this 1,000 support tickets that we've answered in WordPress.org to help all these people for free, like, and you just want to throw a 1 star out there because of one little bug,
they
and
don't
then
see
you
it
go and
that
look.
way. They don't.
That's all they got, 1 stars for
You get
every. Yeah, it happens. It
you get.
happens.
I know it happens. Yeah, I mean, when you don't meet the need, you don't meet the need.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right. So AI tools, Judd. So yeah, I mean AI tools in relationship to web development, web design. The
Let's go through the top tools real quick before we end.
yeah, sure.
We can mention to some people. So I'll read through a few of them. Cursor AI, that's going to be for coding. GitHub has now Copilot. VO by Vercel is also for front end development. For creative, there's a few things we already talked about, like creating video and all that. But Midjourney V7 is a new one I haven't heard of. I'll
Really,
try
really,
out.
really good. I have a use case on that from last year when we built a helicopter site. We reached
Okay.
out to the customer and said, "Hey, we need some good photography from you guys. What you're sending us from your iPhone isn't going to cut it. We're like, hey, hire a professional photographer. We'll work with them in terms of what you need for this site." So they went out,
Yeah.
they did an amazing shoot, but some of the photos didn't come out like we needed them to, and that's where AI really came in and helped out. Uh,
That helps.
I
Yeah.
mean, think about it, right? It was not a cheap photo shoot just to get a freaking helicopter up in the air. I don't know what the cost of that is. But yeah,
Yeah.
it really came in and saved the day.
So
And
yeah, so
that was Midjourney, by the way.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, you have DALL-E, which is
that's
ChatGPT's
right.
DALL-E,
That was like
kind of like
the
Wall-E.
very first generative AI tool out there. Was it DALL-E?
I think it was, and I thought it did good for illustration. I did a lot of cool illustrations with that. And Runaway ML Gen 3, that's another one. Image to video does a lot of that stuff. So as far as productivity, I still love blog to video or video to blog.
Uh-huh.
Forgot which one it is. That's just great for if you have YouTube videos and you want to quickly put them into blog posts. Which, by the way, I'm going to do that for Bright Commerce's website. That's next week, Carlos. We'll have all of our stuff up there. Do blog posts, which is great. The I'd say which tools that I use for content is going to be ChatGPT, which is really annoying versus Claude. I think Claude writes better, but then I use Grammarly to finesse it all, right, from a content perspective. And then Figma and all these tools that we normally use are starting to really put AI inside, and that's kind of what I've been waiting for. I don't want to, I've tried some carousel tools and things for LinkedIn, and there's a lot of little one-off AI stuff, but it's like really I'd rather just have the tools that I use be able to do what some of these little guys do, and I'm hoping to see that sooner than later, to be honest.
I got you. Yeah. Um, here's one tool I find really, really useful from at least from my world, right? Just keep in mind, I'm not a designer, I'm not a developer. I kind of live in between all these worlds. So I'm like, I'm a person that's very broad. I still have a lot of depth, right? But here's some things that really help me in the AI world from a dev standpoint. It is the coding tool or the inspect tool in Google Chrome. It now has the AI assistant built in.
Okay.
You can look at the source code for a page, and you can say, you can highlight a piece of code and you can say, what does this do?
No shit.
I recently used it a few months ago. We had a guy come over with a site. It was really slow in checkout. And these tools like really helped me decipher like what was the problematic script
Ah, okay.
and kind of knowing what it did, because obviously you can identify by looking at the timeline. Uh,
Send that one to me. I
yeah,
want
yeah,
to see
yeah.
it.
I'll show you real quick here. It's really really neat. So here's Bright Commerce on inspect mode, right? So
Look at that. Look at that. It looks nice, don't it?
it's great work on that, yeah. I must say. Um, so anyway, it's just really nice, right? It'll tell you. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
God, man, so many things you don't really look
Again, this,
at.
this is great. It's just a huge, and this isn't making me any dumber. It's giving me competitive edge. It's making me look at things
Well,
faster.
just by doing that too, you'll get smarter with coding in general.
No, but just
I learned the most I've ever learned about coding was actually from debugging, not from reading. It's like trying to fix stuff that's broken, more or
yeah,
less.
yeah. Anyway, that's something I find really useful. Speaking of
Yeah.
debugging, there was some conference this year. I don't know. It popped up in my TikTok feed but it was what's Microsoft CEO's name? Is it Satya Nadella? Yeah, Satya Nadella was mentioning how the code that Microsoft writes, about 30% of its new code is AI generated code in their repos. Now this isn't,
Absolutely.
and this is mostly for new projects, right? Not legacy or existing projects, right? Uh,
Yeah.
he also mentioned that the audits that they do, it's much higher for the AI models. It's about 70%. So 70% of their audits is done by AI.
That's crazy.
Amazing, right? Because debugging is a very like very
No, I think we're going to start to excel extremely fast. That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like we're at another, like we were in the, early late 90s. We're in another,
you're
it's
right.
going to go
You're
fast.
right. It's like a whole new phase. Yeah.
People are starting to catch up, like, because, certain people, AI's been around for a couple, 3 years, 4 years now. And people are just, I feel like this year, really adapting it.
AI's actually been around way longer than that. Um,
Well, I think like,
I think
ChatGPT and the
right, which is
major,
generative AI. That's
yeah.
like that's like the new kid on the block, right? Joe, you and I have been running AI for 10 years. So just the products alone is AI based on
Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. I guess the tools I mean, like where it's mainstream.
yeah, things like that. Autocomplete, believe it or not, is somewhat of an AI.
Predictive search.
It's predictive, correct, right? It's only going to give you so much criteria based on what you input. That's all it knows how to do, right?
Yeah.
Netflix, YouTube, you may also like based on your viewing pattern.
Yeah.
That's also AI, right? It's just dumber AI. Now we're in this like generative world of AI, right? So yeah, there's one more uh, feature protocol, call it whatever you want to call it, that I wanted to talk about, and it's MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. This is kind of like the th think of it as the gateway or path to essentially tie one application, such as Asana, to Claude. And now you can actually ask Claude to do things like,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
yeah, create a task that is for a marketing campaign with this much budget, whatever the case is, whatever
I
criteria you
have a friend that does
specify
that with Shopify. He literally has Shopify edit his site and do things to the Shopify site.
through Claude.
Not Claude. I think it's ChatGPT.
Oh, so perfect. He's using what's called the model context protocol. Um,
Yeah.
you can also, tie it into your GitHub, and you can ask Claude like, hey, check my latest commit and
What
look.
do you think that's going to do to the Zapier's business
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
or make?
that's a good question. I'm sure Zapier will like have some kind of solution, right, where you can tie any service to any LLM through them.
Yeah, because I mean, you would think like that would be one that could get hurt by this if they don't adapt to it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the MCP, I guess, is kind of like a Zapier in a way, right? It's
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
uh,
One is API, I think more like API kind of like replacement, where this is like full on replacement. Like this
yeah.
is like I'm gonna get it to do things I want it to do and talk. So you could do like email. You could have HubSpot communicate with, let's say, Klaviyo or Mailchimp in the future and do things. So if you want one app didn't have exactly what you want it to have, but you had two apps that did exactly what you need, you can make them work together from an AI perspective. That's cool.
That's
I need time for
that's
that
cool.
one because I need to unpack that.
Yeah. What is it? Like, you can have it go through your CRM or your inbox and scavenge like, hey,
That's cool.
are there any leads that you think are going to close soon, or is there anybody that we missed that we haven't gotten back to in the last 2 days? Any criteria that just takes you a little bit to figure out and how to filter for it, it's going to do for you, right? Uh,
Yeah.
last one, and you're gonna
You said
like it.
that was the last one. Not joking. Let's go.
All right, sorry. This I promise you, this is the last one, and you're gonna like this one. Um, Paper crawl.
Paper crawl?
Paper crawl, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
paper crawl.
paper crawl. I'm sorry. I'm out of water and my mouth's going dry.
Yeah, I
But
got
yeah,
one right here.
your thoughts on paper crawl. Oh my gosh, paper crawl.
Paper crawl. So I have to admit, paper crawl.
Yeah, so it's basically it's a new protocol, right? And essentially it's a wall. Think of it as a paywall for LLMs. If they come to your website to consume content, you're gonna say, sorry, if you want to consume this content, you have to pay me.
Ooh, yeah, like Cloudflare, right? I think it's gonna
Right.
like
So yeah,
enable that.
I'm glad you touched on that. Yeah, because Cloudflare is essentially the first to market with this as a turnkey solution, right? So I haven't like fully dove into it yet, but it is some kind
You just brought up a great thing about like you know how Google crawls the internet, right? What if you made Google like what if everyone said we're not letting you crawl our stuff, Google, anymore? And there's like a revolt, right? Because if that comes out where people want to get money for their content, which is rightfully so, it's their content. Because isn't that how Google made money is off of everyone's stuff being able to find it?
not necessarily, right? Find it and generate traffic for you, sir.
Oh, I got you there. I got you there. But I'm saying, let's say the game changes where people have control,
Yes,
and they charge a tax
correct.
for Google to consume. And now I'm not saying, Google's not going to want everyone's content, right? But there are going to be certain sites that Google's like, I need to have this. So they'll pay for it.
Yeah, no, there's more to it than that too, right? Um,
That's interesting.
but let me just touch on a few more things. So it's a protocol, right? The only thing that it can do out of the box is have that monetary transaction or exchange. And that's where Cloudflare comes in. Cloudflare facilitates that for you.
God, imagine how much fraud's going to be in that.
Yes.
Someone's going to be like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Yeah, yeah. So what it'll do is it's here, listen to this one. This is really cool. It's HTTP status code 402, payment required.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Very cool.
Well,
So what's gonna happen there, right? This is kind of like,
I
you
think
know,
this could be for like data, like people that have a lot of data that people want that
like
that,
like
that
like big
they're
like
going to provide
big
access
it's
to.
gonna be huge for big publishers.
Yes.
Wall Street Journal, TechCrunch, um, whatever, any big publisher you can think about, right? And probably what's going to happen is they're going to end up partnering up with an LLM company, whether it's OpenAI or Claude or Grok, and that's kind of going to be like a selling point for them to say, hey, use our LLM because here's where we get our data from, kind of thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
Maybe
Cool.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well,
All right, my friend, that is a wrap.